When I was a kid, speaking of pizza, they used to have these frozen pizzas. Before frozen pizzas, they had these little ones. They were little bite-sized pizzas. And there was like either 9 or 12 to like a sheet, right? And you take out a sheet, and maybe it was just a box. You just had the one, right? And there were these little circle ones. They were probably, I don't know, I'd say a little more than half the size of a hockey puck in like circumference, right? And one whole row was sausage, the other whole row was pepperoni, and the other whole row was cheese. Okay? And I come from the latchkey generation. Your parents both were at work. They shared a car. You lived in a duplex. You know what I mean? It's one of those deals. You want to have fun? Christ, you went outside, you climbed a tree. How old do I sound? Anyway, so we used to come home, and we used to turn on the oven, because that's what you do. I just realized that. Your parents aren't home, they gave you a key, and now you're turning on the oven. And there was no Simply Safe back then, man. You were on your own. That's what's wrong with these millennials, man. We're all like 40 now, aren't they? Isn't it time to blame another generation for shit that older generations created? And millennials, let me give you a little forecast here. You're going to do the same thing. It's what you do, unless you become one of the rarest thing on the planet, a cool old guy. A cool old guy who lived the life he wanted to live, found the woman he wanted to be with, and therefore is happy for young people and encourages them rather than telling them everything they're doing is wrong. I'll tell you what I did was wrong is I ate Chinese food too fast. Now I have the hiccups. Anyway, so we turned the stove on, as you do. And we'd throw those fuckers in there. And we would sit down and we would just fucking chow those things. And it was either that or they had these things called steakums, which I know I've brought up a zillion times, so I won't bore you with it again. But those were the big ones. Or you just came home and you ate donuts. And back in the day, you didn't buy donuts at a donut place unless it was after church. Other than that, you had donuts that God knows when they were made. Somebody made these fucking things, and they put them on a truck, and they were driven across states, all right? And then they just stuck them in a goddamn supermarket. Now, I know they still have donuts in supermarkets, and I got to be honest with you. There's something really cool about having donuts in your house if you just don't give a fuck, right? That's always been like the big thing for me. If you're eating donuts, you don't give a fuck. I know the expression is cake eater, but you got to be honest, dude. There's not a lot of places to get cake, but fucking donuts, especially out here in LA, for a city that is so goddamn vain. Well, at least Hollywood is. Let's not blame all of LA, by the way. All right? There's plenty of people that like guns, four-wheelers, and fucking, reality show TV stars with long ties. There's plenty of those people out there. They're just not right in Hollywood. But anyway, used to buy these fucking donuts, and they had 3 rows. They had powdered, they had cinnamon, and they had the fucking plain ones. And the plain ones was for the weakest of the herd, all right? All the siblings came home, all right? And the oldest ate high on the hog, ate the cinnamon and the powdered. And then the weak ones would just get the plain ones. And every once in a while, they'd try to sneak a powdered one. And then they'd get beat down. And that was the 70s, everybody. And that is the podcast. Sorry. That was a sad story of children getting beaten over powdered sugar donuts. And I'll tell you right now, I think that's why this country's so fucked up the way it is today. It ain't social media. It's them powdered donuts from the supermarket back in 1975.